And another thing that you suffered from as well was depression. Was that Lyme or was that something else?
I would say the depression, Lyme disease affects your brain. It affected my brain. I know it did. I always thought that I was just not the smartest person in the world until I got rid of the Lyme and my brain just turned on, which gets affected with sugars and MSG, right? And I know that
Mm,
because it's my blood-brain barrier is not as thick as most because of the Lyme. I would have to say that a lot of issues with depression and such could stem from, and I'm not saying this with everybody, could possibly stem from digestive issues
hmm.
and bacteria and parasites.
Yeah.
Can it be genetic? Absolutely. And we also look at the nutrition. What are you eating? Are you getting enough nutrition? Is your brain getting what it needs? And I said this earlier, that when I eat sugar, I'm like, oh, I can have a piece of that cake. I'll be fine. And the next day, I just don't have it. And I look back and I'm like, darn it. I know that I really can't be eating that stuff. And I did it anyway. So, yeah. So that's my take on the depression piece.
Yeah. I mean, I've certainly worked with clients who have had, some quite severe gut issues going on and they're also depressed. And then, when you clean up the gut, voila, their mood just improves.
Yeah.
We know about the gut brain axis, right? And we know about the vagus nerve and all that kind of thing. So yeah, I'm completely in agreement for some people, and it's definitely not all people. Um, if you clean up the gut, then the brain is positively affected by that.
Hmm. Absolutely.
Another challenge that you've had is vertigo. Again, some people might not know what vertigo is. So could you just explain what vertigo is?
Vertigo is when you can't stay balanced. You can't walk a
Hmm.
straight line. You get dizzy all of the time. Like you stand up and you're very dizzy, or you're just standing here and all of a sudden you just feel like you're spinning. And that was from the Lyme. Positive
Right.
it was all from Lyme disease generated vertigo. But that's what vertigo is. And the now the actual vertigo is an inner ear issue that can
Mm,
get fixed through a few physical therapy exercises.
yeah.
Um, Mine got cleared up again just by clearing up the gut.
Right. Interesting. That's really
Hmm.
interesting. Yeah, it's the Epley maneuver, isn't it? That is one of the
Yeah.
maneuvers that you can use to help
Hmm.
with vertigo. Another issue that you had um, was Hashimoto's. Again, for the audience, can you explain what Hashimoto's is and what kind of symptoms that you had?
Underactive uh, thyroid.
Hmm.
Underactive thyroid, Hashimoto's, so it's hypothyroidism. And this was in my 30s when I was diagnosed, and I was starting to feel really fatigued and tired and falling asleep at the wheel, and my hair was falling out, not terribly, but enough, and dry skin. It was dry skin. I'm trying to remember other symptoms that I had at the time. But again, it was thyroid, but it was the Lyme that attacked my thyroid, just so
Right.
that we get this straight. I know that it was the Lyme that attacked my thyroid. I also remember as a young teenager, the doctor would always test my thyroid and with his hands, and he goes, something's not right in there. Obviously, something's not right in there. So doctors can do tests, not just blood work, but also touch your throat and figure it out. But anyhow, yeah, the dry skin,
Weight gain?
yeah, weight gain. Weight gain's another one. I wasn't experiencing weight gain at the time, but I also exercised like a maniac as
Mm.
I was a cyclist, so I didn't have the weight gain issues. And I'm trying to think what else was going on at the time. Just the major fatigue. Major fatigue.
Cold hands and feet?
Always.
Yeah.
Oh, and that's it. Low body temperature. I forgot about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
My body temperature is still on the low side, which is 97.5 all the time. I've got low body temperature, 97.5. All through the pandemic, I would go into offices, doctors' offices, they check your temperature. I'm like, 97 and a half, right? Yep. How'd you know? Because I know. Yeah, so low body temperature, so I'm cold all the time. But now I'm
Yeah.
going through menopause, so it's a little different. I'm,
Yeah.
cold,
Bit more
hot,
up and down.
cold, hot,
Yeah.
cold, hot.
Yeah, it's really interesting. So obviously, normally Hashimoto's is when your own immune system attacks the
Yeah,
thyroid,
I
but
forgot to say that. Yes, that's
you
correct.
feel in your case, it was actually the Lyme that was attacking the thyroid.
The Lyme was attacking it. Yes, it's an autoimmune disease. So it's your body is attacking the thyroid and my I'm blaming everything on the Lyme because my whole